Do I hear you calling me? I'm just sitting waiting for you to come on home, turn me on. Like the desert. I thought I heard Jack. I didn't. Like a school kid. I love this. I say that every time. I'm just sitting waiting for you. Every time I say it. I think that's because every time I mean it. Every time I mean it. Hello, Obi. How are you, my friend? I just got back from seeing my movie. Yeah, I can imagine. Good luck, have fun, don't die. As you command, dear Rodolfo. Oh, super great movie. It was great when I watched it the first time. It's great when I watched it the second time. It's going to be great when I watch it the third time, and the fifth time, and the sixth, and seventh, and the eighth, and the ninth, and 20th. I do that. I tend to do that with movies. I did that with Moonfall, 2012, Fifth Element, Lord of the Rings. All of them. Just all of them. Just all of them. Okay, what else should I put in here? Some cayenne pepper. Not too much spicy. Oh, the blueberries. I forgot. Oopsie. I told you, good luck. Oh, no, I didn't tell you, Rodolfo. It's good luck, have fun, don't die. Oh, it's going to overflow. Don't overflow. Right to the top. That's close one, guys. It is, Rodolfo. I've been on a Nora Jones kick as well. I tend to do that, you know. Same music. I don't know what it's about. Okay, you guys, plug your ears because it's going to get loud. Okay? Okay. It's a delicious smoothie. Maybe I should put some chia seeds in it. What do you think? Probably should go down. I didn't think much of it. I have no idea the story. I am really happy today, Obi. It feels good. I got some really solidifying information this morning. How are you feeling? Oh, that feel good. Great, man. Doesn't that feel good? Okay, I'm going to push the button again. Okay, ready again? Why tired? Obi, the sun is kicking your booty. We got lots of solar flares and such. KP index. Crazy. I'm going to go push the button now. I'm pushing the button. I'm pushing the button. I'm going to push the button right now. Okay, all done. Oh, interesting. Ah, what was your project about, Obi? It's me. That's what he said. But I can That's actually kind of interesting, Rodolfo. How do you know these tidbits of knowledge? Excuse me. Doesn't like to sit anymore, but I don't want to stand forever. But the fact that you retained that knowledge, Rodolfo. Where are Hansel and Gretel? Are you referring to my children? That's funny. Hansel is sick on the couch. He's healing himself up, and Gretel is with the Pasha. Pasha. Oh, maybe we shall read into this again. You know what I remind myself of? What I remind myself is a old magician. You know what I mean? All the crazy hair, like all these different books. My quirkiness. That was funny. I agree. Life is funny. Once you realize that you're already here, there's nothing to be. That is the best smoothie I've had in a long time. Children, look at this book. Hypocrisy, arrogance, how I hate them. You guys are amazing. Were most of the philosophy. I would love to make you a smoothie, Rodolfo. This is a banging smoothie. It's like my throat is like, oh yeah. Anyways, the philosophers were put in jail and killed all the time. It's interesting. You know what reading these makes me think of? Why do we allow hatred in our lives? Why? It is our choice. Why do we do it? Hank William, your cold card hot. That's a good song. Ooh, let's go for a walk in the forest. Let's do it. No, what kind of music is Cliff Richard? Because that sounds amazing. This smoothie has spinach and banana and lemon and blueberry and chocolate coconut water, cayenne pepper, cantaloupe, That's it. That's a lot of big words in these books, I'm not going to lie. Old Brit pop. Old as in 80s or old as in like 60s or what? Yeah, it is amazing. Well, it's like drinking pure life, you know? I just ate some chips with sour cream and sriracha. That's a good dippy. I like chips. Okay, let's read this one. It's short too, actually. Bolland, Gerard Bolland, 1854 to 1922. Dutch philosopher, disciple of Hegel, was born in Groningen, the Netherlands, and died in Leiden. Although he was self-taught, Bolland became a teacher, first in grade school, then in high school, in the Dutch East Indies from 1896 to 1922. He was a professor of philosophy at Leiden. Bolland entered into many disputes by reason of his confident comprehension in the most different fields of science and letters. He struggled passionately against materialism, democracy, socialism, and Catholicism, preferring an autocratic royal government. His philosophical influence did not reach beyond the Dutch frontier, and he passed with the generation of his immediate students. Oh, interesting. Okay. At first, Bolland was a follower of transcendental realism of E. von Hartmann, but later he became a Hegelian, editing and commenting on Hegel's history of philosophy and numerous philosophy as the highest state of the emergent self-conscious of the absolute spirit. He was aware, however, of the danger that this process might end in a fixed canon of philosophical theories. Bolland held that self-conscious reasoning proceeds by means of the dialectical method, which resolves the contradictions, and conceptual thought opposes one to another by uniting them in a synthesis or higher unity without annulling their differences. Okay, there's obviously a reason why I'm reading this. That's what we're learning. That's what we're doing. Okay. Without annulling their differences. The logical principle of non-contradiction loses its validity in this formulation. Rational thought must proceed by the highest rational unit, the idea or the absolute spirit, and by use of deduction, discover the sense of reality and explain the connection of appearances. So I'd be interesting to look into E. von Hartmann. Unfortunately, I only have A and B. Right, Obi? But it's spiritual. It's not 3D world. You're tired of the 3D world knowledge. This is different. This is a smoothie for your soul. Those with ears to hear. Oh, and I put yogurt. I put yogurt in my smoothie. Did I tell you that part? Maybe I did. Maybe I did. Did I tell you I went and watched that movie again? I really liked it. I really like it. It's a good movie. I'm going to watch it again before it's done. I'm going to watch it again this weekend or this week. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'm back on the live. Meow, meow. No, it was my daughter. Funny, huh? Listen to this. This guy, Bonatelli, says, he regarded consciousness as thought turned back upon itself and almost creating itself, but also as freely accepting the yoke of logic. If consciousness were not of this nature, it would be reduced to a logical machine, whereas it is free reflection on itself, grasping itself by directing essence of consciousness is its infinite turning back upon itself, the infinite reflection of acts. This reflection is not an infinite succession in which consciousness would lose itself in an endless postponement, but rather a completed penetration of self. That's interesting. The fullness and richness of the activity of thought. That's kind of what it's like, actually. The game of Rodolfo. It's kind of interesting, actually. What is this over? Spirit of Bonaventure's philosophy. Bonaventure's fame rests primarily on his reputation as a theologian rather than a philosopher. In both Dante's Paradiso and Raphael's Disputa, he appears as an equal of Aquinas, and in the field of mystical theology, he has been considered without peer. It is more difficult, however, to isolate the philosophical debating a shamrock shape from McDonald's or Dr. Pepper shape from Pepper. I go with Dr. Pepper from What a Burger. You should make yourself a smoothie. This is partly due to the fact that all Bonaventure's extant works postdate his entrance into the Franciscan order and the beginning of his career as a theologian and ascetical writer. The chief reason, however, for the prevalence of theological interest in all of his writings was his understandable reaction against the rationalism rampant in the arts facility at Paris that threatened the very raison d'etre of speculative theory and led to condemnations by Stephen Tempier, Bishop of Paris. Among the 219 items listed as theological errors in the second of these condemnations, for example, are such statements as this: the most exalted of all vocations is that of the philosopher. There is no subject he is not competent to discuss and settle. One gains nothing in the way of knowledge by knowing theology. Only the philosophers deserve to be called wise. The speech of the theologian is founded on fables. Didn't it say that he was a theologian? Yeah, the beginning of his career as a theologian. But then he later went on to write these? Who believed in the validity of Christian revelation should have stressed the inability of philosophers in general and of Aristotle in particular to learn the full truth about man's existential situation. Conversely, Bonaventure tried to show the continuity continuity between the aims of philosophy and those of theology. He maintained that philosophy has a genuine, albeit limited, anatomy. The knowledge it yields is a stage in the overall ascent of the human mind to true wisdom. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. The accumulation of which in this life is found in quasi-experiential knowledge of God achieved by such mystics as Francis of Assisi. Part of the great literary charm of Bonaventure's style is his ability to play upon words. Throughout his later works, particularly his sermons and collecciones, he continually gives a deliberately theological twist to technical philosophical terms, with the result that he has frequently been unjustly accused of confusing theology with philosophy, either in principle or in practice. The truth of the matter is that while he was eminently able to conduct a purely philosophical discussion, and often did so in his university lectures. He preferred to limit himself to particular topics. He never formed a complete system from his philosophical analysis, but he put them into service of his overall theological synthesis. It's a lot of big words in there. There's a lot. Mamma mia, Italia. Right? I felt it too. Did you feel it? It was like past life regression. Splotch. Okay, let's see. Bonaventure's linguistic sophistication and his idea of the community between philosophy and theology are perhaps best represented in his discussion of metaphysics in the Hexamerorum, Christ, the Son of God. Not Aristotle is the metaphysician par excellence. As the Son said, I came forth from the Father and have come into the world again. I come into the world. Again, I leave the world and I go to the Father. So anyone may say, Lord, I came forth from you, the All High. I go to you, the All High, and by means of you, the All High. Here is the metaphysical medium leading us back, and this is the whole of our metaphysics. It concerns emanation, exemplarity, and consummation. That is, being illumined by spiritual rays and led back to the All High. It is in this way you become a true metaphysician. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, emanation. Bonaventure uses the term emanation to designate the general theory of how creation proceeds from God. With its Platonian overtones, however, emanation suggested more specifically the thesis of Al-Farabi. Hey, we just read that guy, or I did, Avicenna and Averroes, that all creatures by an inevitable and eternal process spring from the creative mind of God through a chain of intermediary causes of continually diminishing perfection. This thesis was designed to reconcile Aristotle's eternal world with the creation concept of the Quran. Bonaventure, however, wished to reconcile emanation with Christian theology. His counter thesis is summarized in the Brevilequiem. The whole of the cosmic machine was produced in time and from nothing, by one principle only who is supreme and whose power, though immense, still arranges all according to a certain weight, number, and measure. It is to be noted that he rejects the concepts of the eternity of the world, of the eternity of matter, and of a dual principle of good and evil, and of existence of intermediary causes. His description of the supreme principle implies that a perfect power must be free to create varying degrees of perfection, in contrast with the Arab belief that direct creation by a perfect power could only result in a perfect effects. Also, the use of Augustine's triad of weight, number, and measure suggests the seal of the blessed Trinity stamped on every creature. This becomes clearer if we consider the next and most characteristic feature of Bonaventure's metaphysics, exemplarism. Okay, exemplarism. Emanation concerns natural philosophy as much as metaphysics. God, as final cause and ultimate goal of man's quest for happiness, is the concern of the moral philosopher as well as the metaphysician. But only the metaphysician can understand God as exemplar cause. And it is in analyzing this aspect of the science of causes and first principles that man is most truly a metaphysician. Alexa, play music by Bach. Okay.
Shuffling Johann Sebastian Bach and similar artists on Amazon Music.
Though this metaphysical pursuit begins with reason, it can be successfully terminated only by a man with faith. Comparing the two greatest pagan philosophers, Aristotle and Plato. It's interesting. That's interesting. Yes. Bonaventure maintained that Plato, the master of wisdom, erred in looking only upward to the realm of eternal values, of the immutable ideas, while Aristotle, the master of natural science, looked only earthward towards the everyday sensible world that Plato neglected. But Aristotle's was the greater sin, for in rejecting the Platonic ideas in toto, he closed the door to a full understanding of the universe in terms of its causes. Bonaventure saw Augustine as the model of Christian wisdom because he combined the science of Aristotle with Plato's wisdom. As a Christian, he could complete what Plato could only begin. Not only did he demonstrate that Plato's archetypal ideas are the exemplar cause or models that God used in creating the universe, a point that a philosopher alone could establish, but he also showed further that these ideas are associated in a special way with the second person of the Trinity, an insight only divine revelation could help one discover. This is interesting. Bonaventure, following Augustine, explained that since the Father begets the Son by an eternal act of self-knowledge, the Son may also be called the wisdom of the Father and expresses in his person all of God's creative possibilities. Alexa, play the Nutcracker March by Barcelona Lyric Orchestra.
I can't find the Nutcracker March by Barcelona Lyric Orchestra.
I'm sorry, I try. It's probably really good. That's why Alexa be blacking it, because Alexa's not all the way good, y'all. As such, the Son is the Word. Okay, this is cool. This is going to be good. Okay, let's start over. Explain that since the Father begets the Son by an eternal act of self-knowledge, the Son may also be called the wisdom of the Father and expresses in his person, us, all of God's creative possibilities. As such, the Son is the Word or Logos adumbrated in the writings of the philosophers, but fully revealed only at the beginning of the Gospel of John, where he appears as the one through whom all things are made, that is, an exemplar cause, and who enlightens every man who comes into the world. Yes. From his magisterial chair in heaven, Christ teaches us interiorly, wrote Bonaventure. If, as the philosopher Aristotle says, the knowable qua knowable is eternal, nothing can be known except through that truth which is unshaken, immutable, and without limit. Averroes had written of Aristotle's, I believe this man to be nature's model, the exemplar which nature found to reveal the ultimate in human perfection. Wow, Aristotle. Bonaventure maintained that Christ, not Aristotle, is God's model for humanity. Oh, it's kind of like where it turned a little. The Word is not only God, but also a perfect man. But they're putting Christ as Jesus only, I believe. So I don't know if I 100% believe in this, though. But I don't know if that's what they're meaning, though, either. It could be internal. It did say it's inside of you and all that. Okay, let's go. Which nature found an ultimate human perfection. Bonaventure maintained that Christ, the Word is not only God, but also a perfect man. He gives us the power of becoming the sons of God. Okay, so he is blanketing Christ, not singular. And he is the one master of all the sciences. To know him fully is to know all that can be known. Bonaventure held that Plato's theory of ideas was a first philosophical one of these days I'm going to get it, y'all. Philosophical I mean, yes, I agree with that. But as you said, we are trying to be. So we're getting there. It's a journey. The resurrection is real. Where is it at? Bonaventure held that Plato's theory of ideas was a first philosophical approximation to this theological insight, and Aristotle's rejection of this view led to his errors about God. For if God lacked the exemplar ideas, he would know only himself and nothing of the world. He would be, as Aristotle claimed, related to the world only as final cause and not creator. Moreover, in Aristotle's world, since chance clearly does not explain the cyclic changes of the cosmos, the universe must be ruled by determinism, as the Arabic commentators claim. But then man would no longer be a responsible agent. He would deserve neither reward nor punishment, and divine providence would be a myth. With the recognition of exploralism, on the other hand, the whole of creation takes on sacramental character. That is, it becomes a material means of bringing the soul to God. Nature becomes the mirror of God, reflecting his perfections in varying degrees. Although we see only a shadowy likeness or trance of the Creator in inorganic substances, the lower forms of life, the soul of man is God's image, and the angel his similitude. The recognition of God in nature begins in philosophy, but it is continued and perfected in theology. In De Mysterio Trinitatis, Bonaventure argued that philosophers know that secondary beings imply a first. Dependent beings imply an independent being. Contingent things imply some necessary being. The relative implies an absolute. The imperfect, something perfect. Plato's participated beings imply one unparticipated being. If there are potential beings, then pure act must exist. Composite things imply the existence of something simple. The changeable can only coexist with the unchangeable. Pagan philosophers, knowing that these 10 self-evident conditionals have their antecedents verified in the corporeal world, learned much about God. Pagan philosophers, knowing that these 10 self-evident conditionals have their extended antecedents verified in the corporal world, learned much about God. More can be learned, however, by the soul reflecting upon itself. In his other works, Bonaventure went on to suggest that the soul possessed of memory, intelligence, and will is an image of God, not only mirroring his spiritual nature, but adumbrating the Trinity itself. Memory, which creates its own thought objects, resembles the Father who begets the Son, or Logos, intelligence, as an intellectual reflection of himself. And the two, through their mutual love, will the active principle of spiration breathe forth the Holy Spirit. Interesting. But although a philosopher can discover a spiritual God as the ultimate object of the soul's search for truth and happiness, only a man of faith like Augustine can find the Trinity manifest throughout creation. Consummation or enlightened return. The third aspect of Bonnevare's metaphysic concerns a creature's fulfillment of its destiny by returning to God. This return, called technically a reductio, in the case of the lower creation, is achieved in and through man, who praises God for and through subhuman creation. Man's return is made possible in turn by Christ. Hello, Kimmy. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I love your conversation. He would be happy to have a conversation with you. So the third aspect of Bonaventure's metaphysics concerns a creature's fulfillment of its destiny by returning to God. So our destiny is to return to God. Okay. Man's return is made possible in turn by Christ. For man returns to God by living an upright life, that is, by being rightly aligned with God, and this can be accomplished only through the grace of Christ. Man's mind is right when it has found truth, and above all, eternal truth. His will is right when it loves what is really good. His exercise of power is right when it is a continuation of God's ruling power. Through original sin or the fall, man lost this triple righteousness. His intellect, lured by vain curiosity, and enmeshed itself in interminable doubts and fear. Yes. Since knowledge is evolved at every stage of the return, reductio is also a quest for wisdom, and hence an extended theological sense. It is metaphysical. It is an enlightened return, because every branch of learning is a gift from above, from the Father of lights, and can be put into the service of theology. Although man's return begins with the natural light of reason, reflecting first on the external world and then turning inward in an analysis of the soul, it is perfected initially by a natural illumination of the divine ideas, and then by varying additional degrees of supernatural illumination, which accumulate in the experiential cognition of God through mystical union. The theme of itinerarium. This experience is not the same as the clear vision of the blessed in heaven, but is the learned ignorance referred to by the mystical writers, a union of the soul with God in darkness, granted to saints like Francis before death. Okay, y'all, that's intense. That's intense. I love you guys. It's good communications. We're just learning. We're just growing. We're just learning. We're just growing. Every day, learning and growing. Hi, Corey Cox. Yeah. Well, take some deep breaths, brother. We're here for each other. We are family. I got all my brothers and sisters with me. Well, it's like that. It's like the verse in the Bible that says, like, be patient until Christ be made manifest within you. Right? Start focusing on that, right? Just start focusing on that. We're doing a good job. I woke up this way and I put it up and I said, this is my hair for today. Super fun. I think we should all have short hair anyways. Like the monks. So it's time to introduce ourselves back into ourselves, and not the egotistical ourselves, not the part of us that needs things or requires validation or is searching for something, but inside of you, the capital S self. You have long hair, Obi? How old are you, Obi? I never asked that. Do you ever think to yourself, I know it's going to get intense out there, but like, how intense? 22, good age. Good age, Obi. Like, how bad? Like, cringy, creepy bad? Or just like weird bad? Or just like, whoa bad? You know what I mean? Like, It's cool though. Have no fear, like Obi-Wan says. No fear. You shouldn't cut it. Don't cut your hair if you don't want to cut your hair. Nope. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Well, I think I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to go do because today, to be honest, has been a lot of wandering. I'm feeling very blank. Right, Obi? So unpredictable. So unpredictable. But I have a feeling that people who are raising their frequency, they're going to help. We're going to help change it. Okay, Rodolfo, enjoy your amazing milky shake. And I love you. I love you all. I really do. It's quite interesting, actually. We're better together. Goodbye.